What if I told you that you are not a blank page? You're a story that's been written over and over. Every version of you has been scraped, rewritten, remembered, and still lingers in the margins. Your life is not a first draft, it's a palimpsest. And so is your writing, your favourite city, your emotional memory, even the internet. In this episode of Wordbite, we're not just defining one of the most poetic words in the English language, we're exploring the very nature of memory, rewriting, and the ghosts that never fully fade. This word will haunt you in the best way. I'm Lynx, and if you enjoy learning the history behind the words on the page, go ahead and hit subscribe, ring the bell, and give it a like so that the algorithm knows you want to see more stories like this. Now, let's talk about palimpsest. Definition. What is palimpsest? Alright, let's start with a technical definition. A palimpsest is a manuscript or document that's been erased or scraped clean to be reused, but traces of the original writing remain. You might think of it as an old scroll with layers of text, faint and overlapping, but the term has evolved. Today, a palimpsest is also used metaphorically to describe anything with layers of meaning or history beneath the surface. It could be a building whose walls hide older structures, a person whose trauma echoes beneath their smile, a rewritten draft of your novel with earlier versions bleeding through, or a digital post that's been deleted but not forgotten. It is the art of overwriting and the secrets of the things that are never truly erased. The etymology. Let's peel back the word itself. Palimpsest comes from the Greek palimpsestos. Palin, which means again, remember from like palindrome, psestos meaning scraped, and so it literally means scraped again. Originally, scribes would scrape ink off costly parchment and reuse it, but over time the original ink would resurface. So even when you think something's been completely erased, it hasn't. And when the page looks clean, there's still something underneath. And that is where the metaphor begins. A physical palimpsest. So let's go full historical. One of the most famous palimpsests ever discovered is the Archimedes palimpsest. Originally, it was a 10th century copy of Archimedes' work, when it was scraped and overwritten with a 13th century Christian prayer book. In 1906, a scholar spotted Greek math underneath the prayers, and in the 21st century, scientists used ultraviolet light to uncover the hidden layer. Inside the ghost text, mathematics the world thought was lost. A prayer book built on forgotten science. Now that's both ironic and a palimpsest. History hiding beneath devotion, math beneath the liturgy, the past refusing to be erased. Word resonance. So why does this word really hit hard? Because we're made of memory. Because rewriting is not the same as forgetting. And because healing doesn't erase what came before. Because every time we move forward, a part of us stays behind. We live in a world of stories that were scraped, not deleted. Cities rebuilt, friendships rewritten, trauma softened, but still visible. We are walking palimpsests. Every laugh written over a heartbreak, every strength laid over grief, every version of us visible if you know where to look. The layers of stone. It's a perfect example. Let's look at Rome. Modern streets on top of ancient ruins, cafes above catacombs, crosswalks above temples. Or Istanbul, once Byzantium, once Constantinople. Each name a rewrite, each culture leaving a faint trace of itself. Cities are living palimpsests. Even where skyscrapers stand, cobblestones remember. Even where walls rise, footsteps echo. If you've ever walked in an old city and felt something ancient pressing up from the ground, you've stepped into a palimpsest, the archetype. Writers adore this word. In fiction, it often appears in postmodern literature, Gothic horror, magical realism, memoir, trauma narratives. Characters become palimpsests when they carry memories of selves they've overwritten. Words become palimpsests when the past events bleed into the present. Books become palimpsests when their form and content echo another. And in metafiction, that's a palimpsest by default. Text commenting on text. Think House of Leaves, Cloud Atlas, The Shadow of the Wind. They don't just tell stories. Digital palimpsests, modern ghosts. Do you think your socials are gone after you delete those posts? They're not. The internet remembers, and the internet itself is a digital palimpsest. Caches, screenshots, edits, archived tweets. Your online presence is never truly erased. It's just layered. Back to that onion reference. Every version of your brand, every pivot, every aesthetic error is still traceable. We all carry our digital drafts like a virtual scroll, sometimes comforting, sometimes it's terrifying, but it's always palimpsestic. The Wayback Machine. Human palimpsests. Feel like getting vulnerable for a moment? I'll do it for you. You're not who you were at 16, or 25 for that matter, or yesterday. But those versions of you, they're not gone. They're layered beneath the surface of today. Your reactions, your insecurities, your secret joys. Secret joy. So much secret joy over this right now. I can't wait to reveal what's coming next on this. I'm so excited to do that announcement. We're gonna have to wait till later. Anyway, they echo in the margins of who you are now. That's why old songs still hurt. That's why anniversaries haunt. And that's why healing isn't linear. You're not a clean slate. You're a palimpsest of experience. And you're beautiful in that way. Yes, you. I'll say it. And if nobody else has told you that today, and if you haven't told yourself, you're beautiful. For all your experiences. Last looks, back to the onion metaphor. So here's the truth. We're all walking palimpsests, and you should not fear those layers. We constantly revise ourselves. We constantly erase mistakes. We overwrite pain, although none of it fully ever disappears. That's okay, because every layer has depth, and we are the authors of our own selves. We have the right to revise ourselves, to rewrite it, to chuck something that doesn't work anymore and start afresh, even though it's not truly fresh. Every faded line adds meaning, and the story beneath doesn't weaken you. It makes you authentic. And like ancient parchment, you carry every version of your story. The more you write, the more you remember. If this episode stirred something in you, don't leave empty-handed. Drop a comment. What version of yourself do you still see bleeding through? Or what have you tried to erase? Give this video a like, hit subscribe, and perhaps share it. Or just hold that thought softly. Because whether you're writing stories or rewriting yourself, you're never starting from scratch. You're always starting from your truth. And that is the magic of palimpsest. I'm Lynx, and this has been Wordbite for Palimpsest. And you're unforgettable, even in faded ink. Join me here for another Wordbite, and I'll see you in that video.